Thank you for joining me for my thoughts on The Patient, Season 1, Episode 1, Intake. The episode is rated TVMA, so will this video be. There will be spoilers for the episode, and yeah, absolutely fucking love this one. Really looking forward to more. Yes, so I appreciated the way that this, immediately confirmed, yeah, because as soon as you hear the concept, you know, serial killer kidnaps his, or yeah, kidnaps a therapist, so yeah, they can try to see if they can maybe cure him. It's yeah, when you hear that, you wonder, okay, but how long are we gonna have to wait before they actually have the? Because it sounds like the kind of thing they put on the box, and then it's like, oh, the story's practically over by now. Because it's the kind of thing. I'm wondering. I've seen some criticize that they didn't think it handled it that well. How exactly they're going to keep that? Because there's 10, I want to say, episodes total. Yeah, I don't know exactly how they're going to. I mean, this episode certainly made strong use of the the yeah, are they flashbacks? Because technically, I guess most of the episode is technically a flashback. So yeah, but yeah, that was one thing. I also yeah, just the acting is obviously fantastic, and yeah, it works well as the the yeah, season opener. Let's go with that. I don't think they call them pilots for these kinds of shows, do they? Um, but yeah, the season opener, this thing of, okay, so there's definitely something, seems like maybe his daughter isn't answering the phone when he calls, so he just kind of has to leave a message saying, well, I mean, if I'll be here if you want to talk, which a number of parents find themselves in that situation, regardless of gender. And yeah, I can imagine over the course of the season we'll find out what. Oh, I guess I haven't said that yet. Yeah, I've only watched the one episode so far. Um, but yeah, the what's the word? Yeah, find out what happened there, and I feel like there's also something with his son because, I don't know. I mean, I guess, okay, so essentially, either he's trying to find an excuse to not accept the guitar, or maybe it's true that he doesn't play anymore, but do they talk so little that he yeah, I feel like there's something going on there, but I don't know. It might be the um you know it's one of those things. Oh, okay. I would not rule out that with both it has to do with their mother, his late wife. Um, yeah, she didn't get there in time. But the yeah, so she the daughter's not talking, and the son is either lying or not telling him everything, so something like that, because of that. And that is, it's sadly, sometimes death can really tear apart um, family units and such. I mean, okay, yeah. Obviously, there's one key member missing from family unit once one of them dies, but I mean, sometimes it tears them apart. Sometimes it brings them closer together. Um, yeah, I think that yeah. I think they've done a good job on, so essentially, like, we at this point in the show know almost nothing about Gene. I mean Sam. Basically just, okay, so he's a serial killer and he thought this would work from reading the book, but it didn't. Yeah. They were both frustrated with how it was going. Wonder how many therapists watched this and were like, you know what, the next time I'm frustrated with the process, I don't think I'm going to tell the patient. And so this was his course of action, and that's basically, yeah. So I'm looking forward to finding out more about him as well. And I mean, yeah, to get the obvious out of the way, I think the problem might be his father. But yeah, and they do a neat thing where he actually, so um, Alan, I think was the doctor's name. He he. Sometimes it works well. You got to be careful with it because it can be a little condescending. But yeah, I mean they essentially like say, well, yeah, that's, he hasn't said very many details yet, and that's part of the tease. We're gonna get more. Yeah, I think that covers the overarching stuff. So, scene by scene, I thought they did a good job on the very opening there because, like, yeah, until you see the chain, um, it doesn't seem like there's anything particularly unusual about, because we don't know yet that that's not where he normally wakes up. Um, that sounds like he had a more fun night than he did. And yeah, um, he sees the chain and just like instinctively tries to pull on it. Um, like it's not that he thinks it'll, like, logically that it will actually give. And I think that does cover the, so yeah, flashback, and we see him in, I won't say flashback for every single time because I think the rest of the episode more or less chronological order, but yeah, you know, we see him going through his normal routine, including calling one of his kids and not getting a response, and we get the first bit of evasiveness from Gene Sam. He won't leave his phone number, but says he'll call again to make an appointment. And let's see, I think that covers the yeah. And I thought they did a good job with the montage, because like it's obviously important to note. Yeah, I mean he has other patients though, or had. Um, but yeah, the thing about the oh, and I have heard that the fact that Alan and his family are Jewish, is going to become, you know, yeah, that's going to be explored. So I'm just going to note, I stand with Palestine. Um, yeah, I really appreciate all the pressure we're seeing being put on, yeah, the Israeli government to stop the genocide. And I think that might, let's see, we get to the, yes, so montage, the patients. Be patient, he doctor, your wife? No, it doesn't work. Yeah, the thing about, um, what was it? Everybody says the words, I'm sorry for your loss. I don't know if they mean it, but I mean it. And yeah, the just the little bit of, because like we're thinking, oh, that's, yeah, because obviously, sadly there are people who, like they feel like they should, and they want to, they really want to, but they just can't, when they try saying those words, they just, it feels wrong to them somehow. So we think that's maybe, she's dealing with that. And I guess until the end of the sentence, she was. Um, and later we have um, yeah, the other patient. Yeah, I think that might. Yeah, they did a really solid job on the nightmare. Um, it's one of those things, I don't know, maybe some audiences found it goofy. I didn't, but it obviously could come across that way. He wakes up in bed and he sees his dead wife next to him holding a guitar. Like, yeah. It's obviously, yeah, it's the kind of thing that could come across really silly. And we have the and that's like essentially, and that's the thing, like I think it does a really good job of mimicking real dreams. Um yeah, it's the kind of thing that one could imagine themselves, yeah. um and yeah, it's, his subconscious is trying to, like, yeah, it's this thing of the guitar, and it feels wrong to just like sell it to a store, so he gives it to the person in the family who plays a guitar, or yeah, tried to give it, and first one, then the other, and yeah, he goes over to the crib, and very nicely done on the very disturbing looking baby in there. And I don't know if that, I guess maybe he interprets the dream as being a message to him that the guitar should go to his son. I guess it's possible it's something about, like, maybe at least one of his kids he on some level didn't really want, and maybe that kid felt that, and now with the mother also dead, there's even more distance between them. Um, but yeah, then we have Gene Sam, and I do appreciate the title, you know, yeah, because it's also it is sort of the intake. But yeah, um, I thought they did a good job with what's the word montage. That's also part of why we need multiple patients to make it clear. Yeah, he's not just seeing this one person over and over again, but yeah, at first he's very um, yeah, uh, he doesn't say very much, and then as we get to one of the later sessions, the one where Alan expresses frustration, you know um, clearly Gene Sam is more what's the word he's more relaxed around Alan, but he's not actually, it's still not really working for either of them. So very nicely done on that. But yeah, and you know, we see the yeah, they talk about. Well, let's see. Okay, this is probably going to be out of order, but yeah. So he says, and he immediately brings up having read the book, um, and yeah, he talks about well, you know his father beat him, and the yeah, um, as soon as Alan asks for details on that, he just says yeah, what was it like, a lot, well, pretty much all the time. And the thing about yeah, this works better if I can see your eyes. And he's like, well, there's something wrong with my eyes. They're oversensitive. Did you see a doctor? I saw two. They just said I have Republican eyes. I don't know. That's what one of them said. The other one gave me a second opinion, but he just said that I need ruby quartz glasses to control my optic blasts. How does that help me? And yeah, um, later on, the thing about, and that's also such a great authentic detail. He says, when I ask you for more details, you tell me about a country song you like, or that's one of the different things he does to and yeah, I mean that is I've heard of that happening to therapists, that the person will just talk about you know yeah um because like part of it is that we it's difficult to talk about the things that it's difficult to talk about. And yeah, small talk can feel more you know comfortable. I say small talk, I guess it's possible that he's giving him the full you know Patrick Bateman you know analysis of I should watch that movie again. I will watch that movie again. I'm trying to use more affirming language. And let's see. Yeah, I think that is pretty well. Yeah. I also wasn't sure if we were going to see, so I appreciate, because it was nicely creepy, the night when he came home and took him into the woods. Cause yeah, just you hear some noises from outside, and he looks out the window, and he goes to investigate, and yeah, he so basically he threw a what was that, like a can of, I don't know, soda maybe, and then when his target went to investigate, he knocked him out. I'm playing Hitman 2016 these days, so this is 100%. This is very very easy for me to uh, understand, and yeah, good strategy. Um, but the yeah, we see him the yeah, so um, he comes to talk to Alan, and we see he didn't really need special glasses because he's not wearing them during the last little bit of the episode. No optic blasts. But the yeah, he was worried about giving a number, name, or visibility of his eyes. It's one of those things, there's a saying, you're not paranoid if someone's really after you. Wait, I don't think that's the saying. Anyway, there's a saying. Maybe you heard it. I cannot recall unless that was it, in which case I think I still deserve credit. Um, are you paranoid about being discovered as a serial killer if you really are a serial killer? I don't know. And even, like, Alan is like, you have to let me out of here. What is wrong with you? And he's like, I brought you food. And yeah, I think I've heard of there is apparently something about, like, if a let's see, if someone tells a therapist about a crime they've committed, that stays between the doctor patient, LA confidential. But with yeah, that only ends, Alan explains it really well. It's only the only way I'd have to turn you in is if you told me that you were planning to commit an illegal act again. But I do plan to commit an evil act again. Gene Sam, you and I are going to have to work on our communication skills, because that was not reverse psychology, not even a little. And yeah, the let's see. I think that might. I feel like there's something else that I really wanted to say. Um, I don't know. Maybe that is everything. Yeah, just genuinely really very effective, and like Yeah, I am. I'm really looking forward to finding out more in the next episode. And let's see. I think, yeah, maybe that is everything. Right. I really want there to be an outtake where, as soon as Donald Gleason says, I have a compunction. Um, you know, every so often, I just feel this urge to kill someone. Um, and then every so often, I go through with it if none of the First Order soldiers are willing to do it.